You may be burnt out and don't even realize it. But before we get into it, please, if this video resonates with you, please like, share, subscribe to the channel. All right, let's get into it. Burnout. Like I said, you may be burnt out and you may not even realize it. Let me give you guys a little short story. When I used to work as a ABA therapist in my previous, I would say 2 previous jobs ago, I used to work as an ABA therapist, and it was so toxic. Let me tell you this. It was so toxic that I used to hide in my car at certain times. I'm talking about just hide and just pray before I had to re-enter this building. The environment was just one of those kind of environments where no one wanted to say good morning to each other. Everyone had cliques, just like high school. Everyone did not want to look each other in the eye when you're passing them down the hallway. It was just so awkward, and just, you could just tell, like, the culture there was, let me get this damn money and let me get the hell out of here. That was the culture, which is probably like most jobs nowadays, right? So it just got to a point where I was just mentally just exhausted. Spiritually, I was depleted. I wasn't praying as much, but for that job, I was praying. Emotionally, I was just drained. I couldn't do anything. When I got home, there was times where I would take out my frustrations on family. Unintentional, but because I was so enwrapped in a toxic environment, I just found myself just being angry a lot. And then I would stay in the car as long as I could, just to kind of try to release any negative energy before I went in the home, which, like I said, was unsuccessful at times. So these were moments that I realized that, first of all, number one, I was not in a good environment. Number two, I was just done with this environment in all aspects: mental, physical, emotional, spiritual. I was done. So I'm gonna give you guys a little fact that I just read up on a Forbes study, a recent Forbes study of this year, saying about 66% of people in Americans, have experienced some form of burnout. That's a lot. That is a lot. And that's why this topic is so important, because a lot of us, we got responsibilities. We have things that we are worried about. We have things we have to try to complete in some form of nature, right? We have all of these things that are plaguing our mind. And a lot of times we don't have time to just breathe and relax, because we're so entrapped in thinking, okay, let me get this done. I got to finish this. I got to complete this. If this doesn't get done, then this happens. I got a deadline here. I got to buy eggs. I got to do laundry. Aren't you guys exhausted? And it's just a no wonder why a lot of us are burnt out, because it just seems like it's just a never ending task list. As soon as you wake up, it just seems like it's a never ending task list. And I want to give some solutions. I'm not saying I'm perfect, because I'm definitely not perfect, but some things that I can share that may help someone out there to kind of realize the signs of burnout. Because like I said, you may have it and you don't even understand that you have it. You may think this is natural. This is normal for you to feel this way. Let me tell you something. Any place you go, any job you work, anything you do in life, if you don't feel peace while you're doing these things, understand there's a problem. I'm going to repeat it again. Anything that you do in this life, if you don't feel a form of peace, you feel stressed out all the time while you're doing a certain task, understand that's not a good thing. It's not a good thing for you. And that's a sign that maybe it's too stressful to be doing this task, Or maybe it's just not the right environment. There is a sign that is trying to tell you, trying to convey a message to let you know this is not familiar to your body. Your body cannot take on this amount of stress on a daily basis. So let me tell you some things that you can do that I've done. 1, spend time with yourself. Make time for yourself. Let me rephrase that. Make time for yourself. You see how I just went over all of those things that a lot of people have to do? Laundry. They got to pay off all of these bills. They got to make sure their kids get somewhere on time. They got to make sure they do that favor for that neighbor that asked you last week. There's so many things in our minds. Even a checklist won't even help us because it's just so overwhelming and so overstimulating. So making time for yourself, and I'm talking about nobody disturb you. If you can do this, great. Make time for yourself where you have at least 10, 15 minutes for yourself. If you got to wake up early in the morning, if you have kids more specifically, because kids wake up early, like airport time, you can't get much done. But if you can get up at a certain time where you have the time for yourself, it is so worth it. Make 15 minutes, 20 minutes to yourself where you can sit by yourself, understand that mindfulness, just being in the moment with yourself, journaling, write down how you're feeling in this moment. Write down some goals, small goals. Make it small goals that you can attain. Because like I said, longer goals are going to take longer to do in the future. So you want to make sure it's smaller goals. Do something that you can accomplish more immediately. So understand that mindfulness is very important in these moments. If you're feeling these signs of stress, if you're getting headaches, if you're getting nausea, if you're getting all of these like physical ailments all of a sudden, you got to take that as a sign. Don't ignore it. Oh, I ate. Why do I feel nauseous? It could be that cheeseburger you had. It could be all types of processed foods that you keep throwing into your body, which is a whole nother topic. But I'm just giving you things of why we may be feeling the way we feel, besides being burnt out. If you're throwing anything in your body, you got to understand that can cause your symptoms as well. But understand this, burnout is a serious thing that a lot of employers, a lot of people around us don't speak about. Because the society we live in, they're always telling us, hey, when you going back to work? Hey, how much hours you doing? You doing overtime? Oh, that's what's up. Nobody praises when you just chilling. They don't praise idle time. So when you just relaxing and there's nobody being like, oh yeah, good for you. You doing self-care? What? Yo, kudos, man. Big kudos. Nobody says that. Nobody even speaks like that. But we'll be quick to praise someone when it's time to get that next check. When it's time to get the bag. When it's time to hustle. That's when we about praise. But nobody cares when you say, yo, real talk. I'm going to the library, right? Listen here. I'm going to the library. I'm going to bring my book and I'm going to sit down and read. Nobody cares. Like you say something like that, it's like, yo, bro, are you weird? Like, what do you mean you're going to sit down and read? Like, what are you telling me right now? Because those simple things can be so strange, so remote from someone else's way of thinking. When you tell someone you're just going to sit down and relax and think about yourself, that can be remote to some people's minds. What do you mean you're going to drink some tea and sit down by yourself? What are you talking about right now? What are you really trying to interpret right now? Or convey? What are you trying to convey right now? Because I don't understand that. Come drink this liquor. That's how some people are. Their minds think a certain way. And honestly, other people can be the cause of our burnout as well. If we got people in our lives that's inviting more chaos amongst all the craziness inside of our head already, all the tasks that's inside of our head, we're hanging out with people that will cause more, understand, you got to get away from some of those people. And that's another thing, another sign of burnout, the people you hang out with, because they can cause just as much burnout as your job, as your responsibilities, as all of those things. And it's up to us to pinpoint what could be our cause of burnout. What's another one I could say that I think will work for you, for me, and for some of you guys watching? Go for a drive. I think, honestly, drives alone to different parts of the world are so underrated. Put on a jazz playlist. Put on some good music. Don't put on music that's going to just hype you up all the time. Sometimes you got to switch it up. Put on something that's more soothing. And just go for that long drive by yourself. Just go for it. Go. Sometimes you got to trick your mind, because once you get into a car, usually a lot of us are trained mentally to drive in certain areas. Like even when you're not going to work, sometimes you'll find yourself making that same right turn like you're going to work when you're actually free. Have you guys experienced that? You're going somewhere on a leisure activity, but yet you make that turn like you're going to work. That shows that we're always trained and plugged to do something. And we got to break out of that. So go for that drive. Take that left turn instead of that right turn. Do something that's going to trick your brain. We got to trick our brain sometimes because we're so used to reacting off of our muscle memory all the time. So we got to do something different. So again, guys, why is burnout important? Let's define that right now. Why am I speaking about this issue? I'm speaking about this issue because it affects many people. Many people don't realize they're burnt out. And the bad part is, if you don't realize you're burnt out, guess what could happen? You could go into the hospital, or even worse, die. There's been people that have died within their cubicle because they were so stressed out, burnt out. They had no one to speak to about this. Or even if they did have someone, it wasn't taken seriously. So my point is of this video, take it seriously. Take your health seriously. Don't take these signs, these warning signs, these headaches you've been getting, this nausea you've been feeling, that pain in your side. Don't ignore that. Do not ignore that. Please go to the doctor, get checked out, do your regular exercises. Because like I said in past videos, exercise is very important. Your body was not meant to be idle. Our bodies were created by God for us to move, to work out. We're not meant to be idle creatures. Trust me. So understand, if you're feeling this burnout, do not ignore it. And that's the reason why I'm speaking about this, because it's very important. And a lot of people, such as employers, they will not focus on it because it's not the bottom line. It's not going to bring them the money they're requesting from us. So we have to focus on it because our families, people who we love, our real friends are going to depend on us. So that's the reason why burnout, talking about it, is very important. So if you guys like this video, please like, share, subscribe to the channel. Until next time, guys. Peace.